What's up, family? Welcome to Mini Bytes Session 36, and today's theme is Do You Want to Be Well? My name is Erin McCluskey, and I'm a mindset and performance coach. If you'd like to learn more about my work or get in touch with me directly, you can visit my website at www.erinjewelcoaching.com. Altogether, ErinJewelcoaching.com, and there's a place for you to put your information in and send a message. So today's theme is do you want to be well? And I think the first time, as I reflect on this, the first time it became clear to me that not all beings want to be well, want to necessarily be well, was when I was living in Hawaii. And a friend of mine in Hawaii taught me this mantra, which is basically a chant or a saying, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And there are different translations for it. But essentially it means may all beings have peace. And I can recall that we would sing it together, and we would say it together, Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And it, basically means may all beings have peace. And this person, we were talking about it at one point, and he said, it's a very selfish statement. And I said, well, how so? And he said, well, because it's assuming that we're saying we want all beings to have peace, and that's assuming that all beings want peace, and maybe all beings don't want peace. And I think that was really the first time I began to see a lot of things differently. In particular, the fact that not everybody wants peace. Not everybody wants to be well, which sounds crazy, right? Because it's like, gosh, no, ultimately we all want to be happy. We all want to, but that's just simply not the case. And I have a few theories on that, and none of this is original content. None of my mini bite sessions are. Everything that I share, the topics and the themes, are always coming from somewhere else. They're either coming from another teaching or experience that I've had. And those of you who work with me and those of you who are familiar with my approach know that I share my background not only in the corporate sector, but I share the experiences that I've had along the way in my travels and working with practitioners around the globe in alternative types of healing. And everything that I learn, I share with the people that I work with, and I share on these mini bite sessions. And so why is it that not everyone wants to be well? Well, sometimes people get a lot more out of not being well, or the story around them not being well, than they would perceivably if they were actually striving to be well. So let's break this down a little bit. Let's unpack this a little bit. So let's say I'm someone who gets sick a lot. Let's say I'm someone who has chronic illness, where I'm constantly in and out of the hospital for various procedures. And over a period of time, I begin to associate lovability with the attention I get when I'm sick. So actually what really happened was when I was a kid, I got sick once. I went to the hospital. I got a lollipop. The doctor paid a lot of attention to me. And my parents, who were otherwise not affectionate people, gave me a lot of love at that time. This is not my actual story. This is hypothetical. Let's say that happened. When I was a kid, anytime I got sick, I got more attention and quote unquote more love than when I was quote unquote well or healthy. So as I got older, I actually developed a chronic illness that had me in and out of the hospital. And in fact, as I got older, I developed illnesses that weren't diagnosable. I would go to doctors and they would say, we don't know what's wrong with you. And this goes on and on and on for years and years. And every time I'm sick, I need people to help me do things that I would otherwise be able to do on my own. Or every time I have to go into the hospital, I'm attended to. I'm given attention. I'm given love that I otherwise wouldn't be given. So again, this is all just an example or hypothetical, but it's an example of someone who may not want to be well because this person at a very young age learned to associate being sick with being loved. And this person at a very young age learned that when they're healthy or well, they're not going to get that attention, that love, that validation that they would get if they were sick. And it's really profound because it doesn't even have to be that extreme. It could just be that as a young child, the individual, there were certain things along the way the individual was not feeling as far as affection or attention or encouragement that led them to tell themselves a story that they would need to go to certain extremes in order to get that attention or that love or that validation. And that can manifest in illness, where the individual, when they're sick, they are attended to, they are quote unquote lovable. But when they're healthy, they're not given as much attention, and so therefore they are not lovable. And this is a very abbreviated view of what it means when people actually don't desire to be well. I have personally had in at least one case a client stop working with me because they were not ready to release that story that they were telling themselves, that by being sick they were loved. They were unable to accept that we are self-healing, because by accepting that we're self-healing, this person was going to have to release their story of getting help every time they were sick. If they became self-healing, then they wouldn't need that help anymore, which they associated that help with love and validation, and they felt unlovable without it. So I'm about to go into more detail with this as I hop on the weekly redefining call at 6 p.m. And if you would like to join me for that, you can log into Zoom. I have the information posted on Facebook and LinkedIn. Otherwise, please do check out my YouTube channel. It is Erin McCluskey. Thanks for listening. Love you all. Until the next time.